Hello, Chester here. Today we're going to play Blue White Stoneblade. This list is from Harutsa. He has been doing well with this in recent tournaments, and I think it's time to take a look at this archetype. This is a direction you could go for blue if you don't want to play Psychic Frog. It's interesting that Stoneforge Mystic has become the threat for blue white because of the printing of Cauldra and Batterskull into Timeless. We also have Tome of Gadwick here if we just want a castable equipment that we can shoot her for. And this basically turns any creature into a hydroponics architect, where on attack you get a cantrip from its spellbook. So let's take at the interaction suite of the deck. It has Flare of Denial, the best removal available, Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Ending. This is really good because it makes you resilient to Chalice if that exists. It's also permanent removal. You can hate on Flip Tameo, Flip Ajani, or even a Teferi Time Raveler. This list plays a single watery grave for that reason. And also, and the threat base that we have is Hydroponics Architect, Tameo, and Stoneforge Mystic. Though it's a harder deck building requirement because you have to fit in the equipment that Stoneforge Mystic comes with. So it actually eats up 7 slots in your main deck. That is why the interaction suite here, there are a bunch of trees. There's also a random mana drain here to support the equipment. And this list is not playing strip mines. But I guess stability on your mana base is better in this case. They are running 20 lands. So even if you wanted to fit strip mines in this current configuration, you can't really fit them in. You would need at least 18 blue sources and the 8 cantrips to make that work. And there's also reason not to run strip mines because maybe you want to get to hard casting the equipment anyway. The mana base looks a bit different than what I am used to. There's a lot of basics here. And something I do like doing something like this if you want to preserve life total. A pattern that I've been seeing in blue decks is that the inclusion of hydroponics architect actually makes you take more self damage than usual. So trying to minimize that in order to draw more cards, it's not that crazy. And what I like about the Stormforge Mystic package is that it comes with a Lifelinger. Hydra Complete is also something that can't be killed by most of the format. We are in a black and red based removal format right now. Swords to Plowshares is at a premium. As for the sideboard, I'm just going to refer to Harotsa's primer, which is linked down below. Yes, there are a lot of one-offs here. Notably, there's only 2 commandeers. I normally like 4 because against the Necro decks, you just want to meet them at their own game at the Mulligan Simulator portion of the game. You just want to draw into your or mulligan into your commandeers and subtleties. There's also mana drain here, which I'm looking at hard because mana drain in this format hasn't really felt good. We also have hate bears. I've been wanting to try the meddling mages and Lavinia for a while now, but I am afraid that it might be not good enough because they do cost 2 mana. And most of the time, you just want turn one interaction. So there's another prismatic ending here, Rat of the Skies. As far as I know, the deck hasn't had any problems with energy. And I could believe that because Matter Skull is really good into that. You also have exile removal for things like Goblin Bombardment. So yeah, let's try to play some games. Okay, we are on the draw. We have Ponder Island. So, hmm, I think the second Tamio makes me want to mull this. Okay, there's Ain't That Right Shaman. We are just gonna go for a Ponder here. It'll be difficult if we miss our land drops. Maybe I should have fetched a duel here. Voice of Resurgence. Hmm, I think I actually want to pitch hydroponics here because I don't have a fetch insight. And next turn I might just want to flip Tamio.
Nothing like warm tea and a fascinating story.
See if we can flip this. Yeah, I really messed up by fetching not a hollowed fountain.
I will protect this library with my life. Violence is not the answer.
We brainstorm at NSEP for no reason. Could get back Ponder just to try to get back in the game. Hmm.
Think before you act.
Maybe I'm just gonna put this as a blocker. They have mana up to maybe eat something in my graveyard. But I should have noticed that it was a prismatic vista. That is my bad.
Don't underestimate me.
Adu. At this point, I think I want brainstorm. I don't want double stone forge.
I never forget an exceptional story.
Okay, that's good. It can't cast the cruise yet. I'm just gonna go for Caldra here.
I need some time to myself.
Do I want to kill the Nadu? ponder first. Okay, let's get the land. I think I'm just going to try to raise here. Okay, let's draw into that. Maybe I try to go further Nadu. Can also go for the voice now.
No, no! I'm late for class!
There's another Nadu, I guess. Let's go ahead and flip the Tameo.
I hope you don't mind if I take notes. I am not defenseless.
How many islands does this play? It plays 5. Okay. All right. Itami will serve as a good distraction here.
Fix everything.
There also is Stoneforge deck. There's another swords.
Respect the library.
I'm not gonna play out the land because I might want to shuffle this later. For that Nadu, I
Do you mind?
think I can just ignore that for now. Okay, that's 8 swords.
I am not defenseless.
Okay, let's go mana drain into cruise. Oh, they can try to raise me now. Alright, I guess I'll hit the Nadu. Turn it into two first before playing the swords. They really are flooding out here, which is lucky for us. Yeah, let's just counter this. So they're playing a similar deck. You want Subtlety for the Nadu, Prismatic Endings are good. I guess Turn Scolding is also good. Don't want the mana drain. The flares are maybe bad. Guess I can go for Flusterstorm and maybe an additional fragment. Maybe it's just Rat. Let's try it like this. Okay, can keep this. We have tons of removal, so we can afford this. I might just sell the Stoneforge if they have one, so that I can just deploy this. Let's pitch Ponder. I think I want Brainstorm more. Let's get the Kaldra. Now they have to spend their turn removing this. We just drew all the equipment. That's insane. Okay, I guess I don't want the Kaldra. This is annoying. Now we're just forced to play Stoneforge. Let them ponder first before killing Stoneforge. The tricky part about this deck is trying to determine whether it's correct to get Kaldra or just the Tome. Sometimes you just want the Tome because it's castable. I'm just gonna clear that out.
I know my responsibility.
Okay, that's really annoying. Hmm. I think I just want to brainstorm for a land. Still don't find the land.
This might be a bad idea.
Definitely bad baits here. Yep.
I'll protect you.
I guess we just remove the germ. I think I can play at sorcery speed with the changes that I made. We have subtlety, but it's okay.
Trust me, I have a plan. That didn't pan out.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I just bounce the noble hierarch. They find the land, I'm dead. Bad Jitte.
I've got it.
Okay. I guess I'm not meant to draw any lands then. There, there's the lands. Let's discard. Yeah, we can. This gives +5 +5. All right. I think I'm happy with how I poured it in. Let's just replace Cluster Storm with Spell Pierce. I'm also tempted to bring in another pending. I think pending is better than Fragment Reality. Let's play first. That is keepable. Let's ponder. Those are good. So they're setting up here. And what I want to do,
Perhaps there are more useful texts down on the
we
surface.
are also gonna set up. That is good. I guess extra time you won't hurt. This deals with a Stoneforge. Okay. Extra time you paid off. I think I'm just gonna use my mana here to waste that ramp. But this is also fine. Now that they use Cluster Storm, I don't have to worry about that. Question is, do I play around second Cluster Storm? Yes, we play around Spell Pierce.
This will be a boon to my research.
I'm just
Violence
gonna
is
get
not
Cadwick Stone. Okay.
I am not defenseless.
We can shuffle away Tome of Gadwick here. Do I think it's bad? Let's put that there.
Curious. I must investigate this scroll further.
Tome of Gadwick isn't the worst.
Respect the library.
Yes, we can consider. Don't want to flip the Tameo. Okay.
The history of the multiverse is at my fingertips.
All right.
Not
Tameo
of
wins.
arms, but of ideas.
Let's play first. Okay. I think this is keepable. Just gonna go for Tameo here.
I stayed up too
Maybe equip a Tome of Gadwick. This looks like the most popular deck, the green black mid range deck. Dark Ritual Slop. They got rid of the Tome of Gadwick. Huh. Alright. I'll be aggro with this. I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip Tameo. I don't want the pending. Okay. Mistake I made there is playing out the flooded strand. I should have brainstormed first. Though that doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's do it like this.
Tell me
Because I
everything
still
about
want
this
to hold up
Mythic.
removal here. If they go to reanimate. Okay. I guess that is fine. Gonna fetch for the duel because this is probably a land destruction deck. It's hard to fetch basics against this deck. Yeah, like that. That happens. Hey, I was gonna go for a minus on the swords.
Respect
I
the
guess
library.
I guess we don't need to. I'm just gonna hold this up. Yep. Nope. Okay. Just gonna go for the ulti here since we drew into the subtlety. They can't kill that. Their deck doesn't run any abrupt decays in the main. Okay, against this deck, on the draw, I kinda like where do we make room for prismatic ending is pretty mid against them. Against their deck, I actually like putting in a couple of commandeers. Subtlety is great. There's actually a lot of cards I want to fit in. You can also say cut the we cut those because we're on the draw. Instead, we focus on these being reactive. But I think I want fragment instead of the second drain. Let's put one just in case. Don't think this is a Tome of Gadwick matchup. I think this hand is decent enough. Oops. Let's just play the architect out. Maybe that gets pushed. Okay, that's nice. Let's fake having a flare of denial here. All right, I think that is okay. That is not okay. Hmm. Go attack first. Let's see what we draw. Let's go for ponder. Hmm. Tempting. I think I just brainstorm now just in case they have bowmasters. Don't want the butter skull. And on our upkeep we can fetch away the whatever's on top. I think I'm just gonna go for planes here. That it doesn't hurt. And we're looking for swords to plowshares here. Got rid of the brainstorm because I probably won't cast it this turn. Okay, this works. I don't think they run veils. Not gonna play around that. So next turn, I'm going to prioritize getting Brazen Borrower down over these two. Okay, that's okay. It's not about drawing cards anymore. Man, that's annoying. This card really sucks. Probably should not have done that. I don't need extra cards anyway later on. I think I can play subtlety here. If they kill the bowmasters, the borrower, then that is fine. This is fine. I think I just play out the architect here without playing anything else. They are dead to their own ring. I am blocking here because they can't kill me. Or it's correct to block there because they might not have fatal push on. But I don't really care about that because the one ring will kill them. Yeah, they had the other bowmasters. So I would still live at one, I guess. If I blocked here, this becomes three. I take one. So that's four. Oh, it's Novos. Hmm. It's small. Okay, I think this is better than the first one. Let's put subtlety back. Let's just fetch island, go hydroponics. There's a swords.
Oh, how am I supposed to focus on only one project?
I don't think I want any of those. This is probably show and tell. Let's go get. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Tome of Godwick here because we have subtlety. Might just go for the Force of Will mode. Now we have to kind of recover. Nope. I'm just looking for counter spells at this point. I think that is way better than deploying Butterskull. There is a flare. I think at this point, they're just gonna jam it. 356. Two, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. We're gonna try to go for it. Hmm. We should do this. Let's say ponder. I think I'm gonna swing with both here. Okay, I don't know what way I did that. Really out of it. I know this list runs a singleton mana drain. Essentially need the fourth show and tell. Or maybe a hull breaker 2, 4, 6, 7. You can hull breaker and bounce the token. That attack earlier was really bad. Kinda annoyed with that play. They can teachings. Okay, let's say Saiba. That takes them off mana. I think I just want to cruise at this point. I'm not gonna play out Tamayo because I might use her for flare. If we find land and flare, we have double counters. We don't do that. Nice, we got there. So what do we do here? We're removing the that batter skull, the I'm reading his primer. He takes out two, brings in Lavinia, Meddling Mage, one Commandeer, Fragment Reality, Fluster Storm, Spell Pierce, Flare of Denial, Mana Drain. Okay, I guess this is not. This is this is an okay plan. Yep, can keep that. There's a carpet of flowers. I think I just go for Tameo here.
Is there a deeper meaning to this passage?
There's another carpet. So we're definitely fetching white here. Okay, that's nice. There's another swords. You have to be wary about hard cast. What's it called? Definitely just jamming that in. I think it's time that we use this spell pierce. They have 4/7. We can cast the Hullbreaker here if they have it. Okay, let's see if they've. Let's see if they get there. Yep, they get there. All right, I think this is fine. Let's play first. Not a keepable hand. I guess this is way better. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna name swords to plowshares here. Let's slowly pressure. I think I'm just gonna go for the Caldra here. I'm gonna force them to have it. Like they need exactly show and tell and what's it called? Veil. Let's hear the shuffle sound. It's a dig through time. We definitely have to get lucky here. Yep. GG's. Carpets are strong. Welcome back. So what do you think of the deck? Overall, I ran with this deck. I ended up on a record of 2 and 3, I think. So let's go over what I like, dislike, and what I'm pretty medium on. So what I really like is the play pattern of Stoneforge Mystic threatening a Batterskull or Kaldra. I think that is a super threatening play pattern, which is kind of similar to Frog, or even more threatening at times than Frog, because it essentially makes your Stoneforge Mystic a muster move while already gaining you a card. And the white removal suite is really nice. Reanimate is dead, and you can pretty much deal with any creature that is available. You can go shields down more often with this deck than Dimir. Prismatic Ending rocks because it deals with Chalice, which you can run into time to time. It deals with permanents like Flip Tameo, Goblin Bombardment, Flipped Ajani, or even Teferi Time Raveler. What I am medium about is the current construction of the mana base. I think it's just an adjustment that I need to get used to. But let's take a closer look at the mana base. So we have two options here. We either try to fit strip mine into the deck or just adjust the mana base to fit what I am used to. Because I do think the vistas are really awkward if you're, let's say, playing a low resource game. You're stuck on 2 lands. Now you're forced to fetch an island or a plains, which can usually happen because we are running 20 lands. So if your first land, let's say, is an island, your prismatic vista is kind of forced to go for the plains just to so that you have access to both colors. And what happens is that leaves you exposed to a single strip mine. And I kind of dislike that. I think we can trim down a vista, add a polluted delta, maybe even go down to 3 and add more fetch. I think this would be fine. And that is the simplest option that we can do. The second option is to add strip mines into the deck. But of course, that means we're going to have to cut the prismatic vistas and the basics. So it would go something like this. You have to add strip mines. We are running 20 lands. So this is 16 islands, which means we have to make room for at least two more islands. So borrower, we can maybe change this up into a sink into stupor. It does the bouncy stuff and it also adds a land to your deck. So now we are at 21 minus 4. That's 17. 4, 8, 9. We could just add another fetch. So we end up with 18 blue sources with additional 3 strip mines. What else? Originally, the list had 3 prismatic endings, 2 crews, but I think I've already changed it before recording. So this is probably more correct, or I prefer to build it this way. And I think since we're adding in the strip mines, the mana drain makes less sense. I'd rather have Salty, which is great with strip mine, because a common play pattern that is unlocked here is that when you Salty a creature, you can strip them of the color to cast that creature when they decide to put it on top. The Flare of the Niles, this is fine because we don't really have Psychic Frog to further support it. But we do have Salty, but that is a rare case. The Tome of Gadwick, I'm pretty medium on this one because if your creatures are getting removed, you're probably not gonna have any creatures to attach this to. So even if it's castable, you still need a Ragavan to attach the Tome of Gadwick to. So I think we can test out just having the top end for Stoneforge Mystic. We can always just throw them away through Brainstorm if they can't be cast. And I guess we can add an additional Spell Pierce in the main because we don't have Mana Drain anymore. Spell Pierce also is great if you're running Strip Mines. So this option does have some pros and cons. So you have a new angle of attack. You can attack people's mana bases. You can punish greedy mana bases, take off people of removal or counter magic colors, or just destroy a tomb. And as for the sideboard, I think I just wanted more 1 mana interaction spells before having the hate bears or the 2 mana counter magic. So against show and tell, for example, you only had access to like 4 Flare of Denials, 2 Fluster Storm, and that is 6 turn 1 spells we have access to. Maybe we want to expand that to 8. And since we're running Strip Mines now, Spell Pierce becomes more viable. So we can add a Spell Pierce here. Stern Scolding, kind of like this against Bowmasters and Grief. And I'm pretty mid on Meddling Mage. Yes, as you've seen in the last match, just naming Show and Tell isn't an auto win. Can be even removed by things like Fatal Push or Swords to Plowshares. When you think you're safe, it just gets removed and they shove Show and Tell. And you don't have the luxury of naming the removal spell and then casting another one to name Show and Tell. That just doesn't, it's not realistic. It's another Stern Scolding here. Maybe I want another Fragment Reality. This deals with the One Ring, can take people off mocks. Most of all, it is your only play against the One Ring. I guess what I dislike about the White Splash is that you do lack Orcish Bowmasters to punish One Ring. And by playing Swords to Plowshares, they can just keep casting big fatties. You try to remove it with Swords to Plowshares, which then gives them more life to survive their own One Ring. So that's basically a con of running white. We do have access to Fragment Reality, which is just busted. I think it's better to have a random creature out than letting them have a One Ring. I guess our last piece of interaction might just be Spell Pierce. I'm not gonna add a commandeer yet, but if I feel like adding commandeers, maybe the hate bears can go. Because against the combo decks, I think turn one is the most crucial turn that you should have covered. When you get to turn two, it's really easy to win from that spot anyway. So we have one, two, three, four, five, six. We have nine turn one interaction, 13 if they are on a dark ritual pile. Yeah, I think that is enough for now. And what's good about having access to white is that Elenda isn't that threatening if you have swords to plowshares available. So yeah, that's about the changes I'd try first before maybe I should do another video playing this deck, this new version. Yeah, thanks for watching.